The time is now 18 minutes to 8.
How does a celebrity follow up on a memoir billed as a deeply personal autobiography? Well, for the broadcasting legend Alan Partridge, the answer is to travel the country and ruminate on the state of the nation as well as the landscape. Our arts editor Will Gompertz was lucky enough to get some FaceTime with the man himself.
Alan Partridge, now this is your first foray into travel writing. I was kind of wondering, why now? I mean, in today's shrunken, connected world with places accessible at the click of a mouse, is there even a need for a travel writer?
Good opener, Will. Soft but provocative. Trust me, travel writing is alive and well. You only have to look at TripAdvisor to see that. Only the other day, I read a wonderful, evocative passage about a little bed and breakfast in Devon. I mean, he tore them to pieces. And the fact is, Britain loves a travel writer. I mean, one thinks of Michael Palin or Judith Chalmers, Bill Bryson with his gentle ribbing of this country's way of life, which is meant to be affectionate, but I think is a little bit, if you don't like it, Bill, go back to America for my tastes. So yes, I looked at them, looked at the passion for travel, and crucially how they monetize that passion for commercial gain.
So you wanted to get underneath the skin of Britain, explore its people and its places, but also explore yourself, Alan?
Well, I think you bang on there. It's not just, as you say, places and people. I do explore myself. I don't mean literally, although I do have to do that at my age for lumps and so on and so forth. But that's private, at bath time. I mean, I guess I've learned not to judge people by the way they look. Sometimes you can, John Inverdale, for example, but not always. Prior to the walk, if I'd known, for example, I was going to be interviewed by a guy with statement glasses and flyaway hair, I'd have cancelled. But I didn't, and I've got to say, who cares what you look like? You're a nice bloke. I love the name Gompertz, by the way. Is it Jewish or did you make it up? Actually, tell me after.
Let's leave that aside for now, Alan. But as someone who feels they've got underneath the skin of Britain, how would you define Britishness, particularly at a time where you could argue the country's more divided than ever?
Is it divided? Because I think there are certain things that unite us all, aren't there? It's warm beer and cold hands. It's the clacking of bowling balls, the peal of church bells. It's tutting when you see an ice cream van selling hamburgers. It's a healthy suspicion of human rights. It's a Punch and Judy show having a giggle at a domestic incident. It's a dozen sausage rolls in a tupperware box and a pair of trunks wrapped in a towel. It's an iPhone. It's an iPhone charger. But you take my point, don't you? People say Britain's divided, but the British people voted for a Conservative government, which, without hinting at my own political views, is as British as it gets. And what are left-wing politics? An idea developed by a German and popularised by the Chinese. What's British about that? Julian Fellows believes Labour voters should be charged with treason, and I think he has a point.
What about you, Alan Partridge? Would you ever swap the microphone for the soapbox and move into politics?
Well, if a pound for every time someone suggested I run for office, I'd have enough money to buy three small cushions, from John Lewis. I still have change left over for a bite to eat in the food hall. So yeah, it's basically about 50 times. That's 15 quid a cushion. That's 45 quid. That's £5 left. Yeah, that works.
Let's Alan, bring this slightly close to home, and I want to ask you where you stand on the BBC's charter renewal.
Look, I'm no longer in a position to voice an opinion on the BBC. I don't work there. It's like a marriage. Once you split from your ex, you're not in a position to advise. Yes, you might send her the odd email saying your front lawn needs mowing, or if you insist on retaining my surname, please remember that your conduct reflects on the Partridge brand, but that's about it.
Now, Alan, you might not know this, but we are sitting in the Today studios having this conversation. Yeah. Is it a programme you've ever fancied presenting?
I've said to the BBC that I'd be happy to return, but only for the right financial package and only on TV. So no, even though this interview shows I'd be a natural fit for Radio 4, if, for example, I was having this chat with Ken Bruce on Radio 2, I wouldn't go into this kind of detail because he'd be lost.
OK, let's not worry about Ken Bruce. We're in the Today studios. Let's talk about that programme's presenters. Who's your favourite?
Well, this is the lighter-hearted question at the end of the interview, isn't it? But I do enjoy John Humphrey's Welsh lilt. A lot of people think that the Welsh accent doesn't work in broadcasting because it sounds like the speaker is choking or eating, but a gentle accent like John's is wonderful. Hugh Edwards, more borderline. He could tone it down. I mean, he knows how to tone it down, but he's digging his heels in, apparently. Bit childish, but that's Hugh. John is such a great interviewer too. I mean, when he senses blood, he will not relent, no matter how defenceless the interviewee. Even David Blunkett, and he's blind. I actually cornered John at the Hay Festival last year, and I said to him, I love listening to you in the mornings. I'll be grilling my tomatoes, and you'll be doing the same to a politician. And he chuckled briefly. Yeah, I think he was in the mood.
Alan Partridge, thank you.
Thank you very much. Sorry, what's your name again?
Will.
Will.